you will find a very beautiful long street all along the embankment, very long, and the whole embankment is called after the 62nd Army. Though he was just a commander of one army, 62nd Army. If you try to find the streets that are associated with Yeremenko, who was the commander of Stalingrad front, you will find just one short street, which is just a tribute to the talent of the commander. There was nothing wrong about Yeremenko. Of course, he was a general lieutenant, but probably his investment was not so significant. Ironically or not ironically, the only thing we know about him is that he returned back to to command the Stalingrad front when he was still badly wounded, and he had a very bad lame, but still he wanted to invest his knowledge and his experience into the Battle of Stalingrad. I must say that ironically he was in the most difficult situation from the very beginning, because there was still no reliable information of what would be the German actions if they go upwards to Moscow, or if they start this Stalingrad operation together with the oil operation. So there is no blame or accusation about him, but when it came to the counterattack, and there would be an appointment for the commander of the whole operation, of course he thought he was number one, because he was responsible for Stalingrad front, and it occurred to him that probably this kind of operation of surrounding the Germans in the pocket, where is Stalingrad? The Germans in the pocket, that is what? Okay, the Germans in the pocket would be his idea. But as Zhukov wrote, the idea was so simple and primitive that every soldier could generate this idea. Germans deep in the castle, weak flanks made of Romanians, Hungarians and Italians. The question was not to generate this idea, the question was to organize this idea. So when Yeremenko was denied, of course he was very much offended. He felt that he had been deceived, because it was just like a natural procedure of the Battle of Stalingrad that the commander of the Stalingrad front would be the head of the whole operation. But Stalin had his own opinion, and he said, "It is not time for hard feelings or anything. We have no time for this. We still need a lot of organization inside Stalingrad front, and you will be part of the counterattack in the southern flank of it. But now the situation is different, and we suggest that there will be Konstantin Rokossovsky, who will be commanding the whole operation." For this reason, we found well a lot of remorse in Yeremenko's memoirs, because that is a dream of every commander, to go down into history like something very significant commander, of course. And so he was, well, kind of offended. Like I said, the whole idea of the counterattack was born in the very beginning, in September, because Russians had enough resources by this time. There were sufficient ammunition, sufficient people trained, and sufficient commanders, many of whom were just released from there. The final trick Stalin used in this operation was the use of Zhukov himself, because Germans were still in two minds if Russians undertake the big-scale operation at Moscow or in Stalingrad. They were decided just to follow the location of Zhukov himself. The idea was that where Zhukov goes, because he's the top commander, there will be the main operation for 1942, for 1943. The biggest operation that had been hinted on when Stalin was at the revolution celebration, anniversary celebration. And so that it all started, but it was so deep in the secret that only 3 men knew in the very beginning about this operation at all. That was the people who were present in Stalin's room. Stalin himself, Zhukov and Vasilevsky. Vasilevsky and Zhukov immediately generated, on Stalin's request, a very similar idea that they should make this kind of operation, and they immediately both made a very interesting suggestion, a very interesting proposal, that the whole operation should be prepared but a kind of suspended, so that no one had idea that there is a new front is going to be shaped. It was never mentioned anywhere, in any document at all. Southwest Front, commanded by Vatutin. And so it was going on for a very long time before it became absolutely obvious that this operation is about to take place. And I have definite figures.
There's a better map of the initial operation down there, is where those guys are.
What do you mean?
Where the people are there, there's a better map of actually Operation Uranus.
Okay.
Uranus. Uranus, that's fine. That's fine as well. But you're not going to call it that. What are you going to call it?
Yeah, that is probably more clear for our narration. As you can see, with proper organization of the opposing forces, there was no much domination of the Russian troops in this. If Germans could have foreseen this operation, if they could have made the whole thing arranged properly, then probably that would be no success. We were speaking about the Russians in the city. There were a lot of very successful ideas, a lot of losses on the German side, a lot of everything. Germans exhausted, this and that, but the losses of the Russians exceeded Germany.